Hi all. So welcome back to Learning Partner. Now in this video, till now, we have completed very basic topic. Again, so many topics are there, but at least basic CRUD APIs we are able to write. If you are following my previous video, so you will be able to create the API because I haven't skipped anything. Everything what I have done without skipping anything we have completed, and I was able to do the CRUD operation. So you should also be ready with it. And then we did the validation also, different types of action result, different response type, 400, 200, 201, right? 500, everything we have done, not found. Now, next thing is whatever the API code we have written, this is not production level code, action result, whatever we have done now. It's okay for a practice project. But when we talk about the real project or the production level application, so we don't write API like this. There is a new or a proper way. So we write async API. So that we are going to discuss today. Ki what are async API? What are threads? Why not to go for a synchronous API? Fine. Just for an example, we will take a scenario. Ki what is synchronous API and what does asynchronous API does? Let's say one request came to the API. And in that API, we are fetching data from database. So what it does, it will create a thread. And that waits till we get data return. Okay. Let's consider one more request came. Before this request has done its execution, one more request came. Another request. So it will create new thread because old thread was busy. So it will create new thread. Just like that, another. So consider your application is getting used by multiple users for this at the same time. So many threads it will create. And we don't have so many threads. We have limited number of threads. In JavaScript, you might have seen problem, your stack memory or heap memory error you might have seen, right? So if your execution context, because we have limited number of executions, just like that. So in C# also, we have limited number of threads. So if so many users are using your API concurrently, so your wait time will increase, your server response will get slower. So instead of doing that, what we do, we create async APIs. So in normal scenario, in now async API, what happens? Request came, database call will be there. Then your thread becomes free, right? Then it will wait for database operation. Once it's done, it will return. So now that thread is free. Let's say another request came. So another request came, it will use that free thread. Getting it? So it will use that free thread. It won't create another thread for performing. So this allows your multiple requests to use your APIs concurrently. Not, I won't say concurrently, but a scalability, right? Your server won't be slower because same thread we are not blocking. It is not waiting for a particular operation to complete. So multiple threads won't be also created. Correct? So that's why, again, async API doesn't make your API faster. As I explained, just the thread. It won't block the thread. It will free the thread so that new request can use the thread. It won't create multiple thread. If you create multiple thread, your response will get slower because we have limited number of threads what we can be created. Okay, I won't go into detail how much and what, but just remember, like we cannot keep on creating multiple thread for each request, right? So we should not block that particular thread. So we have to free that thread so that another request can process the thread. So this is the behind the scene idea. Again, I'm not going in deep because we don't need to go in deep right now. The idea is to understand what is async API and not. So this is everything background theory, what you should know. Now, let's convert our normal APIs, whatever we have created, into async API. Which controller I can use? Student. Where we did X. Fine. Now here you can see, previously when we started, we have return type like what actual data we were returning, we kept that return type like this in student master. So this API was returning student master list. So we gone with like this. Create master, it was returning a single object. So we gone with this. Then in delete, we were returning true and false. So we gone with this. This is very general way. Then we move on to I action result. Instead of just, sorry, over here. Instead of using the specific return type, we go for action result. So we have control over status code. So we can play with the status code, 500, okay, created, not found, just like that. So here you can see not found, right? So I will use this controller to parallelly do this. So I will copy this and I will paste it again. Get students. I'm just changing the method name. Get students. Fine. Sorry. Now, in case of normal API, this is how you do. But let's say if you want to convert this API into your async await. So what you need to do? You need to add async over here. So from JavaScript, whatever the idea you know from async await. So similar like that, you can relate over here. Okay, async. Then you have to create a task also. Okay, what is task? So async operation, in C#, if you want to use the async API, we have to create a task. So task, and what will be your task? The action result. Like this. Okay. Now here you can see, it means like async method lacks await. So whenever you are doing that database operation, we have to keep waiting. So over here, you need to add await. So those who have worked or at least explore your JavaScript. So when you use fetch API, we add the await keyword because we want to wait till that, right? So that await keyword. But whenever you are using await, now you are getting one more error. Key get awaiter has to be with toList async. So you cannot use toList now. There is another method, toList async. So async method is there. Fine. So this is your async API. What we did simply, we converted our normal API into async. Then instead of just action result, we converted it to task. And whenever we have a database operation, we added await. This is your async API. Instead of just the synchronous API, we should always go for async API. In real time, always we write API like this, async API. We don't write like this. This was just for understanding. Because first time only I could not explain everything, right? So first we created very basic API, then I'm explaining this. Okay. So now whenever you are doing the practice, always create async APIs like this. So this is your get API. Let's say post API. So again, same thing, async. Then we have to create task, wrap it up. Now, so here, just like add, we have, that uh, uh, add async. Okay, just like add. So parallel methods are there. First or default, async, save changes, async, everything. Async methods are available. Async, again, it has to be await. So await, right? Then on db.save changes also. This is also actually doing the database operation. So await. And instead of simple save async, we have to go with save async. Got it? So this is your save API. Okay. Everywhere says still the same. Now here also, let's say while deleting. Okay, here again it will be same. So I'm not doing that. Async task. Then here we have to wait because we are doing some database operation. We are reading single record from the database with matching particular ID. So we have to use await over here. Whatever the database operation are, if you are updating, deleting, reading, everywhere you have to add the await. Now instead of just single or default, you have to use the async method. Got it? Here also. Okay, in remove method, sorry. In remove method, we are just removing from the context, then here only. So await, because we have already read the data. Await, and then db.save changes async. So your all APIs will be async now. So even if within the same time, multiple requests came, your thread won't be blocked. And for each request coming, new thread won't be created. Once the request came, database API will call and your thread becomes free. Another request can use it. Getting it? So this is the benefit of async API. Again, toList async, first or default async, single or default async, add async, save changes async. So async methods are available. Got it? So Async API, what it does? Async API doesn't improve the speed. It improves scalability. Multiple requests it can handle efficiently. Normally we use async in the database operation. Okay. If your APIs are going to be get used by multiple user at the same time, right? Always we use async API in case of database operation. Okay. So this is the small video where I wanted to cover your async API. After that, we have to see DTO pattern or a foreign key relationship. I will show there. I can show the joins also. Fine. If you are new to my channel, please do like and subscribe. We have started this series just for the Angular or the React developer, basically front-end developer, because the market is changing. Every company is looking for a full stack developer. So this course I have created just a front-end developer should be easily able to relate to what is backend, how do we create APIs. With this course, you will be in a suitable position where you can say, yeah, I know the API development. How do we create? What database operation we do? What is the database connectivity? Everything you do. But with the help of AI, again, you can work as a senior developer also because you know everything basic, right? So in the video description, we'll be finding a link of my WhatsApp. You can directly connect with me, right? I hope you are liking the content. Please do add comments. If you are having any question, you can always reach out to me on WhatsApp or LinkedIn also. Thank you.